Woo, Miss D.
Hey,
What is up?
hi everyone. My name is Georgette Truan. I am
Scared?
I don't know what I am. Who am I? What am I? Um,
Gee.
um, I work for Attorney Vincent Davis, and we have Mr. Guai with us from Maine,
Yep.
and uh, Corey. He's a special guest tonight. Corey, I know you wanted to meet Mr. Davis, and you had a lot of questions for him, and I apologize for that.
That's
Um,
all right.
but I would love to hear you. We would love to hear what's going on with your CPS case.
We right now we're kind of in a standstill. I have to make some really tough decisions on how to proceed forward. Darren knows most of my things between cigarette burns, dental neglect.
You love this, G. This stuff's crazy. What he tried to call CPS to help him, and this kid was coming home with cigarette burns, all this stuff, and they wouldn't help. They would not help. His kid was almost a statistic if he didn't step up and do what he's done.
Yep.
So, what county is this in, Corey?
This is in Crawford County. Well, actually, there's two. There's Mercer in Pennsylvania, and then Crawford.
Wow.
And on the western side of Pennsylvania, and the first thing I did was get an attorney, and I got this is a friend of mine, and we kept going for custody modification, and at one point I was like, listen, I need to switch attorneys. This has got to, I've got to get into some kind of, obtained another one, and he has done an outstanding job. He has done, and again, and I don't normally, we've had businesses and stuff, and I've always used attorneys, but family law is that's a whole other ballgame. So we've had probably close to between 95 and 100 child lines, only one being founded.
Okay, he's cutting. He's freezing.
Corey's frozen. It's cold. It's cold in Pennsylvania.
It's actually warmer than it has been, but we've had between 95 and 100 child lines, and only one was founded.
Wow.
And we've had cigarette burns. We've had medical dental neglect where he had 10 cavities, 5 caps, a root canal extraction, and abscess at 3. The little guy stopped eating.
Wow.
Called the dentist, and I said, either you're going to get him in there, or I'm going to take him to an emergency room, and I'm suing everybody. Well, funny, they got him in the next day, and at 3 years old, just after his birthday in April, he had a 3.5-hour sedated surgery.
Wow.
So
how old is your son?
He is 8.
Oh my God.
He's been through. I was just telling Darren tonight at dinner, because we try to eat as a family, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Whoever's home, we try to eat as a family. He says to us tonight, he goes, "Thank you for saving my life, Daddy, because that was a real bad situation that I was in."
That's crazy.
Brings tears to your eyes.
And CPS didn't do a damn thing. Am I right? Am I understanding that?
No, wouldn't do a thing.
Is this your wow.
He went to them with the pictures. He went to them with everything possible. Multiple. He made like 8 or 10 inquiries himself, right, Corey? His doctors made like 50 or 60 inquiries to CPS. None of them did a thing. So this just goes to
I did 3 of them. Doctor did close to, I don't know, 50 or 60. The counselor's done amongst bunches of them, and my attorney did 2 or 3. It was on my mom's birthday a few years ago. I picked him up, and we'd gotten a cake and all this other stuff, and he gets in the car and he says, "Daddy, A and B sucked my blank."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, I'm driving when he calls that out, and I tell you what, so I pull over and I said, I won't get in the back seat, because anytime that he would say something like this, I want him eye to eye. I want him to see that, I'm listening. I'm truly attentive of what he has to say. And he repeated it. So I texted my attorney before we pulled off, and he goes, call Childline, call me later. I want you in my office tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Went unfounded. No, actually, I think that when they did found, but it was only 2 weeks, and they closed the case. So they could find no evidence of that. How are you going to find evidence of that?
What did we
Okay,
do?
but how long has your son been there, Corey, if I may ask?
At my house?
No, in custody of those demonic people. How long has he been there?
He never was.
He's gone now. He's home now, Miss G.
I know, but how long was he there? How long did he stay in their custody?
He what had happened is in Pennsylvania, they're starting to do this with all these states.
Pennsylvania, okay.
Yeah, what they're trying to do is do 50-50. Like mother gets 50, dad gets 50. That's kind of their go-to thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now, we got 50-50, and so we just kept going back to court. And my attorney had basically said, here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Call, CYS or DHS or however they do it. But he goes, let's not put any stock into it. And we had to continue. I even got through out of the district attorney's office stating that it was a custody matter and that they couldn't prove child abuse and neglect. I said, you got to be kidding me.
Jesus. It's just, I can't believe it.
So I think you should be. How long has your son been with you since CPS?
I got primary custody in 2018, and we've been getting it slow but surely since then. And he's been with me full time. Second week in May.
Your son can sue them, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he can.
Mm-hmm.
Now I need a civil attorney because, when you are an attorney inside of Pennsylvania, they won't touch they're inside their own courtroom.
I have a civil attorney for you in Pennsylvania. I don't have a problem.
I appreciate it.
Giving you
text that to me, please.
I will have Grace send me your information. I'll text it to you. But he's only, I don't know if he handles CPS cases, but I know he's a civil attorney. You should give him a call immediately and let him know. Did you take pictures of the cigarette burn and all that?
Listen, I have close to probably 50,000, and I have them dated. And what I did when I first started this, I would take pictures prior to him going, and so I would put the date and time, and then sent. And then when he came back, date, time, received. So I have them, which again was, I have plenty of friends of mine that are law enforcement. And they said, if you want to win your case, this is exactly how to do it, because the court can't say, well, how do you know that wasn't yours? Well, here's how he went, and here's how he came back. You tell me.
Yeah.
I have them every month, 2017, 2018. I have them all categorized, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I was in a conference call. We have some businesses, and I was trying to get some different things, and I get a call from her stating, now she's closer to where his pediatrician is in the hospital is. He fell and broke his nose. She wasn't watching him. So I picked him up, took him down to the thing. They wouldn't do an x-ray on him, and I'm glad they didn't, because I knew that the lady that did it, and she said, Corey, don't do that. She said, I can't, specifically do the radiation to just one part of his head, so I wouldn't do it. She said, what I would do is go over and see his pediatrician, which is literally right across from the hospital. And I went in there, and they childlined that, I think, 5 times. But we have gone through literal hell. I've got him. I even have his dental records from when she took him into when I took him. All of the cavities, all the work that was going to need to be done, all the work that was done. I've gotten pictures. I've gotten video. You can't even imagine. He came home one Thanksgiving with a Christmas ball buried in his heel.
Jesus.
In his heel. So, me being a good dad, take him into the hospital, and this big monster of a sheriff comes up and he goes, all right, this is abuse. Well, I just picked him up from his mom. If I had to have my attorney on speed dial, I'd have probably, this guy was enormous. He called the attorney and he goes, yep, I know Corey just told him, I told him to take him in there. And so, yeah, he had a Christmas bulb buried in his seal. Took him almost, 2 hours to get it out of him.
Oh my God.
I got pictures of all of it. People see this, and I've actually had child abuse pediatricians get sick over this.
When this happened, why didn't the police like go to the house and investigate it? Like, why didn't, I mean,
They did. And the district attorney didn't want anything to do with this. But here's what's interesting about this. So if you go to, I did this in both counties. So if you go to the state police and say, I want to file a criminal complaint. Okay, what's this over? Well, my child's being beat up. Well, we don't get involved in domestics.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, okay, how about if I get down and slap some individuals? Well, we'll come and arrest you. Well, no, wait a minute. You can't do that because you just said you don't do domestics. Well, we'll come and arrest you. Wait a minute. You can't do that. I almost got arrested for some stupidness like that, but
that's not stupid what you just said. That's facts.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Right.
So I thought, okay, in Crawford County, let's get out of Mercer. Did the exact same thing. That guy was a little less patient in this. And I said, so you mean to tell me you're going to protect the abuser, but you won't protect the child? I see where we stand in this. So, and again, they don't like to hear that. That's not something that we protect children. Oh, yeah? Well, then go arrest her. Well, we don't get involved in domestics. Well, then you don't protect children. Sorry to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So then what I did is I had a friend of mine who, well, first of all, let me back up. My uncle was a retired teacher. And anytime that he'd ever had a problem, the campaign, letter writing campaign and phone call campaign went absolutely ballistic. And I learned how to do this. So what I did is I did this. I called the Auditor General, the Inspector General. I called child advocates, every child advocate I could find in the state of Pennsylvania. I called the Human and Health Services Legal Department. I called Human and Health Services, and I mean, I did it. I called the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, and I called them daily. Sent them 400 pictures. Timestamped, dated, and everything. And the one lady from the social worker goes, what the heck is this? This is my child for the last 3 years. So CYS brought them down there. They said, well, these all fall within reason. Okay. Would you say the same thing for your child? Well, this isn't my child. No, I'm asking you. But that's when they opened it up. When they found out that the sexual abuse was going on or suspected, and that I sent them all these pictures. Yep. But I got really proactive because I knew nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm. And what was the first step that you took when you found out that your child was abused and CPS wasn't going to do anything for you? What was the first action step that you took after that point when you had to take things into your own hands, if you will?
Well, the first thing I did immediately when we started this custody was got an attorney. And I wanted one that was absolutely notorious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hasn't eaten since the 90s and hasn't seen the light of day since the 80s. I want somebody that's just downright vicious. And I've gotten that, everything. When I took him, when I first retained him, I think I had 5 banker boxes. I think I'm up to 12 that sit in his office. It's all digitalized now. But so that's the first thing that I did. The second thing that I did is I told him that I would do 2 things. Number 1, I would keep myself clean as best of my abilities. And 2, I would be proactive. I would give him tools that would give him many options. And I've held true to this. So he could, it's almost like he could go into a toolbox and go, I like this one, and I like this one. And so the other thing that I did, and I think that this is a very underutilized utility.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy down in Texas called Justice for Children.
Oh, okay. I heard about that. Okay.
So here's what I did. When this first started going on, I filled out the paperwork. I think the paperwork was like 10 pages, and it goes over like what your child, just everything. And they assigned me a lady who, anytime that anything would happen, it was more of a legal documenting type of thing. Mm-hmm. So probably after, I want to say we were 6 to 9 months, she wrote the judge a letter, sent it to my attorney, and sent it to me, all certified, registered, certified, in regular mail.
Mm.
So now we're putting everybody on notice that this is a bad situation. And my attorney goes, "Oh, where did you find that?" I said, "Well, I'm friends with the owner on LinkedIn." And I said, "The first thing I did was start hunting for anybody that would even put an ear to this." And he said, "That's a good idea." So I told him about it. And he goes, "Listen, I'll have somebody get the hold of the paperwork, fill it out." And then I just started getting every agency I could in Pennsylvania. Any agency that would listen, the inspector general, the auditor general, used to work for the post office, called them. They didn't like that. They didn't like to hear that at all. So, but there were a lot of agencies that I called that. And I have documentation for all of it. All of it.
And did you, I mean, how many attorneys did you call in Pennsylvania? A civil attorney?
I have contacted probably 50, maybe more. And they won't touch it. They will not. No, well, it's kind of hard to prove. And listen, my son got a hammer. Are you kidding me? They won't touch it. But I stopped exhausting this when you get kind of a beat down, and you're like, you know what? Again, I haven't pursued it because I'm trying to make sure that I can get this situation finalized.
Right.
And that's that. This is the thing that I've had a hard time with. As much garbage as he's gone through, and he should have the freedom to be away from that. I'm having a hard time with TPR in that. Not that I won't do it, because I will, but I'm having a hard time with that because that's just it's a tough. My conscience is getting in the way. Let's put it that way. But that's why I say I got to make some tough decisions.
Yeah. What else?
Go ahead.
What is your remedy? What are you seeking for your remedy for this? All of this, like, what is at the end of the day? What is your outcome that you're hoping that you get out of all of this?
To be truthfully honest with you, I haven't. I want full custody of him. One of the things that I haven't really said anything is in 2016, as I was delivering mail, I had a widowmaker heart attack and almost died.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little older. Go ahead. One of the things is God forbid something were to happen to me, I want my son to be taken care of very well.
Yeah.
And I think that he deserves that for all the heck that he's gone through. I think that, I heard something today that's interesting. If we start holding people accountable for their actions, there'll be a lot less of this shenanigans than what we're getting now. We're getting a bunch of garbage. And I think that it's a very, we had a judge that I wanted a PFA put on the whole situation. He wouldn't even hear it. He wouldn't give me the day in court, which is against Keegan's rights.
But when you say you want full custody, that means you don't want him to know his mother. Is that what you're saying?
I think what he knows now, he tells the counselor, and I have him in counseling, pretty intense therapy counseling, that he's very angry with her and he doesn't want to be around it.
Right.
And, my question to therapists, and everybody said, oh, you've got to have, if you want it to be a successful child, you need both the mother and the father. And my problem with that is okay, if you've got a crazy parent on one side or the other, okay, do you really want that child to inherit the other side of that crazy?
Yeah.
So what did the mother do to him? She burned him, or what did she do to him?
I don't know, really. To be honest, I can't answer that. Only for the fact is that when I send him, and again, I can show you before and afters because I did a lot of. I would send him. His legs would be, clean. He'd have a bath, his teeth brushed, fed, the whole 9 yards. He came back with bruises everywhere, dirty, hungry, which, teeth and cavities. Just the list goes on, and nobody will tell me who did it. Keegan will say, oh, it just happened, or just this or that. When they're coaching him, I get that. But the problem with it is that I didn't send him that. He didn't come back the same way he went down. So, in answer to your question, I can't give you 100%. And again, I think once he gets away from that for a while, I think we will get some answers. Or at least I hope and pray. But the more important thing is that he tells the respected people who need to know what went on. And at this point, I don't need CPS.
When you
I don't
say,
want him.
Corey, I want to ask you a question, okay? When you say he goes to his mom a certain way, he comes back a certain way. So when he comes back to you, when he came back to you, what way did he look?
Okay, let me take you through this. So when I would send him, again, and I'm a massage therapist, so I would make sure that, he didn't have any kind of cuts, bruises, or any of that kind of stuff. He came home on several occasions. He had bruises and contusions that were 3rd and 4th degree, that were well into his 3rd and 4th subcutaneous skin. Which means, and I'll give you an example. So if you hit somebody with a baseball bat, you're going to go 3 or 4, maybe even 5 layers into your skin. You're going to break blood vessels and all that. That's how deep we're talking.
Wow.
I mean, I could send you pictures of it. Yeah, it just makes everybody sick. And it's one of the things that I've asked CPS is, okay, if that were you or your children, was that fair? Well, we're not talking about my children. No, I'm asking you a question.
Exactly. Yeah. They always say that.
It's funny, and I told this to CYS. If it can happen to me, don't think it won't happen to you. Well, I work for CYS. I don't bet the farm on that.
It will. You know what they say, karma, right? It's going to happen to this person's family, meaning something is going to happen, because it's like karma is like a circle, right? It goes around. It comes right back at you. No matter, you can't escape it. You can't escape God, right? So with that being said, whoever these people are that did this or doing this to children and family, even though they work for CPS, something will happen to their children. Something that's not necessarily CPS involvement. Something else bad is going to happen to them. And they're going to remember what they've done. Believe me, because they're not going to understand pain unless they go through the pain.
2023.
Yeah.
2023, I adopted a new saying: the Lord's undefeated. And I saw that. I was watching a program, and this little girl said, "You know what, Daddy? Lord's undefeated." Oh, I like that, and I've adopted that. One of the things that everybody tells me when I first started this process, everybody's like, "Oh, you won't get primary custody." You obviously don't know who I am. I'm telling you, I will not stop. I'm relentless. I am. I'm like Rocky. I will continue to get up. Would Rocky say I'm too stupid not to get up? And I even had my counselor said, she goes, "Hey, you won't get." And so I said, once I got primary custody, going for full custody. No, you'll never get it in Pennsylvania. Want to bet? I said, "Listen, I get what I want." And I said, "I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You can fool with me all you want. My child's off limits."
Yep.
And I told that to CYS. I said, I'm a bear, and I don't. I don't like to threaten people. It's not who I am or what I do or any of that kind of stuff. But enough is enough.
Corey, do you see the private chat? Do you see the private chat that we have?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you my number, and I want you to text me just one picture. I want to see one picture of what you're talking about. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, it's terrible, Miss G.
You've seen it?
I've seen pictures. Yes.
Oh Lord.
He's
Oh
definitely
my
ev-
God.
everything that's coming out of this guy's mouth is 100% legit. It's awful.
No, I understand that. I'm not saying anything. I just want to see the severity of
Yeah.
what he's talking about. I'm trying to put the pieces together.
Are you sure you want to say this?
You're not talking about like a little scrape here. We're
Yeah,
not
I
talking
want to
like
see it.
little
Corey.
bumps and
Don't
bruises.
worry. I'm not going to share it with anyone. I just want to see it.
Huh?
This is insane. I want to. This is so sick. I mean,
People really are screwed. People really are. They just
CPS is.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's not normal.
And that's the mom.
That's the
Yeah.
mom.
That's the mom that did this.
Yeah.
This is not a normal scrape. This is not like I fell many times on my knee,
No.
but
This is the point. And
never like
they
this.
never came and did a thing about it.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh. Okay. Corey. Yeah. The second one you send me, that's gruesome.
Oh, wait till you see the third one.
That's infected, Corey. That's
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
bad.
Look at the third one. That's a Christmas bulb in his heel.
So
That's 3 of about 1,000 that I could send you that would make you ill. I mean, when I say ill, I mean ill.
Oh my God. Oh my
This
God.
is
I have never. I've seen abuse, but this is gruesome. Oh my God.
that. You know, he came home one night, and it was. Tell you when it was in December, and it was obviously in
So
Pennsylvania, and I'm sure Maine.
wait. Hold on that. Did you take pictures before he left?
Yep.
Good.
Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I believe you. I believe you because that happened. Yeah, I believe you. Because she's a narcissist. There's absolute. She's a sociopathic, narcissistic.
she's awful.
She's horrible.
Yes. Not a nice
She's
person.
horrible. She should not be around children whatsoever.
No. Ever. She's one that should go. She should be in a jail cell.
Yep, criminal.
And I don't understand how a nice guy gets to be with a monster like that. That's for another time, but I don't understand it. You're such a good, sweet man, and she's just a complete evil person. Like I don't even understand that one.
That's pure evil. That's pure evil.
I sent you a couple more. The last one I sent was.
Oh my God, Corey.
Yep. That's what I've dealt with since 2016.
And this woman has not been jailed?
Nope. They won't touch her.
That's what, Darren, do you remember when I was saying all along, the abuser always gets away with it, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're the father or the mother, the abuser gets away with it every single time.
CPS is trying to keep this kid
every
with the
single
abuser.
time. Oh
If
my
he
God,
didn't
Corey.
step up, if he didn't
Oh my
step up
God.
and try to fight for him, that kid would still be with CPS. I mean, with the mother.
Yep. He's on my couch right now, snuggled up in about 5 blankets.
In a lake house.
In a lake house, yeah.
Yep.
So the child is with you now, right?
Yes.
So is the case closed?
They have been, but every time that they do it, they go, well, the district attorney won't prosecute, or we can't get this, or they won't do it. I've even sent this to the attorney general. I even talked to one of the deputies, special investigation, and they won't do it because the district attorney won't do it. It's criminal.
It's all
That's
criminal.
a crime.
See, I told you guys numerous times, district attorneys are in on it. It's called job security. Without the abuser, right? Without the abuser, they're not going to have business. They're not going to have income.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they leave the abusers while they perpetrate the non-abusing parent as you know,
They
the
were
crazy.
making him a nuisance. He was nothing but a nuisance to them. And all he
Yeah,
was doing was complaining and trying to get his kid into safety.
yeah,
This-
that's very true.
Mhm.
That's very very true, because what they're doing is they're actually, it's all about money. It's all money related. It's all money. That's all it
Well, you
is.
have my cell phone now, Mrs. G, so definitely text me. Whatever. Um, I I wish I knew how to proceed from this.
You know what? I'm gonna, since I've seen these pictures. Do you have pictures though before he left to her?
The last one that I sent you was a before and after.
Okay. Oh, I saw
Ooh.
that. Okay. Oh my God.
That's how he came, was before, and that's after is when I sent him back. That's how he used to come back. Um, which is the one that I sent you? Did I?
Poor baby.
Oh, he just, my mom's birthday is on the 25th, and he would just grab a hold of me and just as much as I say, no, daddy, and just oh, um, where is that? Yeah, there you go.
And, I can't believe this tree, Christmas tree. That one is killing me right now. What did the hospital say? My God. And
Um, they, well, CYS in Pennsylvania. This is another one.
Yeah, the hospital kept trying to file reports. They did
Yeah,
nothing.
they tried to nail me. Yep, they tried to nail me. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, this one's just out of control. Who kicks a baby?
oh my God.
That's
Oh
saying
my.
some more is you understand. He had a like down where just above his diaper. It looked like somebody kicked him or bit him.
Oh
Oh my!
my God.
Uh,
How is that man? How is she still?
No, I
Yeah.
don't know, but I can tell you, he's
He
you
was
know
a
one of
baby
the things
in this one. He was a baby.
Yeah.
two. I think he was 2 year and a half or
Yeah,
2 years old.
he was a toddler. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been dealing with this for about 7 years.
They never do anything to the abuser, and God knows what I'm telling you right now is the truth. They don't. I've seen all. I've seen it. I've seen all.
Aren't
I've
those
seen it all.
pictures horrifying? That's a
This
baby.
is
That's
this
that.
is that's a baby. That's not right. That's
No.
not right. But
Where
they
was
are
the
not
one?
going to hold her accountable to anything. They're not, because the abuser always gets away with it. I'm telling you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you.
He had. I think I remember seeing. I stopped counting head bruises at 20, 25.
Jesus Christ.
It was horrific. It really was
Those are
horrific.
law
You,
enforcement
you
people that
know,
are watching this. Please get your information to Grace to help Corey with this stuff. Because
does the mother get visits?
Nope.
Good.
She's walked away from this.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's saying now, like, see, he knows that he doesn't have to go. So now his confidence is starting to come up. And he's, like I was saying again, he'd say at dinner, Daddy, thank you for saving my life, that I don't have to go to mommy's and that I stay here with you. I mean, it breaks my heart, but it makes me feel vindicated that this was all done for a purpose.
Wow.
No, my cousin and I used to climb trees, and I played football, and I mean, I was relentless in football. I never, and I'm an adult, never had those many bruises. Took
No,
martial arts, kicked myself and my cousins and we kicked each other out of trees. Never have
I
I
know.
ever had bruises like that.
I've seen it. I've seen the ankle one. Um, with a case. It's a firefighter case. He abused his kids, his daughters, and
Mm-hmm.
his daughters will come back to the mom just like that, like
Mm.
cuts and bruises, like that ankle one. And he would make the report against the mom right away, and the mom would like have pictures, dates on the camera, dates
Yep.
on the
Yep.
pictures and all that, and the before and after. The mom like was taking pictures of the children's legs and knees and arms and back, just not the private area, obviously. And
Well, no, but
that's what
that's
saved the
what.
mother. But they still didn't believe the mother. It was just sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. Then the mother finds out later that the same judge that was her daughter was babysitting her kids is the same judge that was in that department.
It's
Um,
really terrible.
yeah.
Where was the one?
And that's why they want to keep the kids silent, because they don't want the kids in the visitation to say who's really doing this, right? That's why they're saying, oh, no, you can't talk about this. Oh, no, you can't say this. Oh, no. It's like the child is being abused and the child want to talk, but they can't talk because they were told
Right.
they have to be silent. So children, oh my God, I hope your son recovers from this.
I just sent you one on the bottom right, Mrs. G. This is the first one that started out. This is right before his second. Yeah, it's 2017, before his second birthday. So he's still really one. He's got welts on his back. Somebody
Oh
whipped him with a
my
belt.
God. Yeah, I believe that. Yep. That's how that lady was. Her daughters will come back like this. Yep.
That's that. I've dealt with that, and one of the things that one of my friends who used to be with the drug enforcement and everything, he goes, listen, you take pictures before, you take pictures during, and you take pictures on his way out. And he said, timestamp everything, and on it say, sent, received, and during. And during means that you're showing, and again, he's been through court a whole lot of times. What you're doing is you're setting up a timeline to show the judge that this is how he came, this is what it happens during, and then you send him back. This is and that's what won me my case. But
but remember, but for everyone that's watching this program, always take pictures where, for example, if you're picking the child up from a facility or the mother's place, take a picture of the place with the child. Meaning,
document everything.
Right. Document everything. Make sure that you do that. I mean, that's what saved that mother I was telling you guys about. But it saved her, but it still didn't get her children back. Now, if his wife or the mother of the child didn't walk away from all this, she would have kept the child. And that's the truth. She would have kept the child. I'm not joking, Corey. Darren, doesn't that happen all the time, Darren? Darren!
What? I'm right here, machine. I'm not doing. I'm reading this damn paper. Good God! Do you see me right here? Built to be yours. The case right here. Issues and arrests. God damn, scared the shit out of me. How do you do that?
I scared Corey.
Christ.
What's scary is when you send them.
I'm trying to read how you can arrest kids over here. Like that.
That is hilarious.
My God. I'm trying to figure out how we can get some prosecution to this woman over here.
Well,
because are they talking about prosecuting her at all, Corey?
They've investigated her. The one night I took Keegan, or I took my, how do I quit that? I took my son, I picked him up, and he'd had all those bruises and belts and welts and stuff. Took him right to the police department. And the police's exact words were, "What the hell is this?" I said, "I just picked him up, and this is what I want to file a criminal complaint." They investigated it. They investigated it several times, and nobody would do anything. Okay. I mean, there wasn't much that I could do.
When the daddy smacks my oldest son on the face, maybe on the cheek, I don't know.
On the face.
Hard enough to bruise it, and I took pictures as soon as I picked him up from the visit, and he tried to blame my husband, and the judge tried to say that there wasn't enough evidence to remove them from him. You know what, Christina? You are absolutely correct. The judges will always say there isn't enough evidence to remove the child. When in
Keep
fact,
trying.
one being is enough. One is enough. That's like telling a woman it's okay for your husband to beat you, it's okay for your boyfriend to beat you. It's not enough evidence unless you're near death. Then maybe we can do something about it. I kid you not. That woman that married the firefighter I was telling you guys about, she called the police when her husband put the gun in her head and threatened to kill her. The police came, took the gun, they didn't do anything. Nothing. You know what they said to her? They said, ma'am, if he shoots you, then we'll be involved. If he pulls the trigger, that's the exact words she said.
It's crazy.
So that woman had to, like, if they force the abused, right? The one that was abused, they forced the victim to bow down to the abuser. Does that make sense? Because if you don't get along with the abuser, then you're never going to see your children again. So they make you bow down to the abuser. And I know some of you understand what I'm talking about. They do. You bow down to the abuser just so you can see your children. No matter what you say, any way you put your words together, they're going to always side with the abuser. In Corey's case, he's blessed. Now, I don't believe in luck. I'm not going to be lucky, but he's blessed that she walked away. I mean, this woman should have walked away because she's not helping Corey or his son.
Nope. She's created a lot of problems for him. Well, yep, I shouldn't say that.
She's gonna destroy herself. I hope she destroys herself soon.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I haven't sent these to you, Darren, because these are just thought. You can ask her. They're terrible. I mean, it defies anything. Why would you let a child go through this?
Right.
You know, there's nothing better to me than to hear him laugh and know that, because there were several times I wanted to walk away from it. I didn't want this mess. And the Lord wouldn't let me, and I just kept fighting. Just like anything that I knew how, and it pays off. It might take you a while, but it will pay off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's where, it's, like I said, I got a bunch of decisions to make where I want to go with that.
Yeah, you do.
You need a civil attorney. You have so much evidence right now. I don't know what the laws are in Pennsylvania pertaining to civil cases for the child. I know here is 18 before the child turns 18 or something like that.
10 years.
Yeah, and the parent you will have to sign for your child consenting it.
Oh yeah.
But you have a great civil lawsuit. I'm telling you right now, and don't wait too long because I know there's a statute, and you don't want to wait too long. Okay.
Give me that name and number, and we'll call him tomorrow.
Okay. I am going to get you that name and number. Just remind me tomorrow so I can get it. Okay. And
got it.
Well, actually, because I don't want to give you his cell number. I can't do that. I have to ask for his work number.
Well, you can ask him if here's what to do. Call him and ask him and tell him that, you've got a pretty good, we've got a pretty good case, and you could even send him the pictures if you want, or however, just tell him that'll do that. Just tell him we've got a pretty good lawsuit, and see what he wants to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll tell you what, better give him mine. Give him my cell phone number.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him. The problem, what county? Text me the county. Text me the court address. and I'll let him know. And because sometimes when I talk to attorneys, they tell me, "Oh, it depends on the county. Which county is the case in?"
Mm-hmm.
So they don't just go to any county. It depends. Believe it or not, one attorney told me in Ohio, he said that sometimes they refuse to go to a certain county because the judges in that courthouse are extremely biased, right?
Interesting.
So, yeah, they refuse to work in certain counties because of that. You get it?
Yes.
But that's Ohio. But he said, most attorneys think the same way, but I can't speak for the rest. Yep. And
Mhm.
they will keep lying. They will keep on lying, baby.
Yep. And no guilt, no penalties for it. They got all that immunity. They got everybody covering for them. They're all set. They can just lie, 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 or just not respond.
Hmm. Yeah, because that baby's the pictures that I just saw right now, that woman should have been in jail
Mhm.
forever. She should not even be out. She should get the death penalty for this. And I hate to say this because I'm not God, and I don't take matters like that, life in my own hand, but she deserved nothing but pain for this.
That's just a few.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Mhm.
just
Like,
horrible. This is really, 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 really horrible. Horrible.
what would
I'm
Mr.
jealous.
Davis say about that? If he saw
I'm
those, what would
jealous
he?
of them not responding many of the times. He will say the same thing. You have a good lawsuit. You need to get a civil attorney. But the thing is with Davis, he will have to travel to Pennsylvania. He would have to get approved for a pro hoc vici by the judge, and that takes like 3 weeks. And so it's a lot of money, Corey. You have to put
Mhm.
money in
Oh yeah.
this.
Oh,
That's why, if you don't have the money, then I suggest you get the attorney from that state, and hopefully he is able. That's why I asked you to send me the court address so I could give it to him.
we're well over 150 to $200,000 in this.
Re- Um, what is your next? Do you have a court hearing coming up or no?
Me, no. Everything's closed at the moment.
Good. Okay.
Okay, good. So right now, focus on your son and focus and I will help you get an attorney, that civil attorney. If he doesn't handle your county, I'm gonna ask him to refer someone.
I
Refer
appreciate that.
someone. Not a problem at all. And honestly, in my opinion, and I'm not Mr. Davis, obviously. I'm not near Mr. Davis, not even a little bit of Davis, but he would probably say the same thing, most likely.
Same
That he
attorney.
would not like these pictures. I guarantee you he would not like these pictures.
Who could?
Take,
I
yeah,
can't
that's
look at
exactly.
them. These are gruesome. Gruesome.
Those
And
are.
that's why the child doesn't want to go there. Usually the children don't want to go to the abuser. They want to
Right.
stay with the non-abusing the
Mhm.
non-abuser, but you know what they do? They force the children to go with the abuser
Yep.
in so
Mhm.
many cases. And they cry out for the good parent. They cry out. And you know what the social workers do? They just laugh at them. They laugh at the parent who is dying inside. And that's
Mhm.
the truth. They laugh at the parent dying inside.
Mhm.
Terrible, isn't it?
It
Evil.
is. And they force you to lie to your children. Like, for example, this lady I was talking about earlier, they told her in the visit room to lie to her children and tell them she will be right back. And she wasn't going to come back because the visit was over. So the kids were told by their dad that they will never see mom again. So the kids were crying out to their mom saying, "Don't leave us, mom, don't leave us." And banging on the window, I mean, on the door, screaming and kicking the door. And the social worker said, "They can't stop crying. Just tell them that you will be right back. You're going to the bathroom." I said, "No, I'm not going to
Man,
lie to my kids and say that." I mean, people don't understand that women and men, fathers, dads, and moms, they go through a lot. So when she told them that no, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie to my kids. She said the monitor, whatever the person was, wrote down that mother was not cooperating.
Wow.
Yeah, and the mother has a recording of what happened. That was back in the day. That was a long time ago, but she had a recording of what happened. And you know what the judge said? I don't want to see that crap. That was in court.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Crap,
The
huh?
judge said in court, I don't want to see that crap. The mother
Crap.
tried to get her copies of the transcripts. And I'm telling you, until today, that woman probably most likely never had copies of the transcripts. And if she did, they will take the part. Because remember, court reporters, they side with the judges.
Yep.
So what they
Every
do,
time.
they take out the part that states, right, that says what the judge says. I don't want to look at that crap. They
Unbelievable.
took that part out. Guarantee you 100%. That's what they do. Now in family court, there's a new law. There's no more providing you with court reporters. You have to buy your own. So it's between, depending on how many hours, between $3,000 to $8,000.
Good Lord.
You have to buy a court reporter. Now, for a criminal case, they give you a court reporter. They have a court reporter for free. But in family court now, the new law, they said last year, they said no more court reporters. You have to buy one. So if you can't afford a court reporter, you're out of luck.
So they're not even keeping record there then. They're not even keeping a record on anymore.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
illegal.
And you can't even record. And you can't record.
Mm-hmm.
In California. I don't know about other states.
Trying to steal with the children faster and faster.
Yeah. So it's getting worse and worse because people don't understand that family court turns into juvenile court. So any conflict case in family court, a high conflict custody case, social workers are going to get involved. And when the social workers gets involved, they take the case over. That judge in family court doesn't supersede that judge in juvenile court, meaning the judge in juvenile court is higher than that judge in family court. So it depends. It depends if the judge likes you. Sometimes the judges don't like you because you remind them of their mom, or you remind them of their sister that they don't like, or you remind them of they don't like you. They just don't like you. You rub them the wrong way. Some female, not most female judges, they don't like you because you're prettier than them. A lot of gay judges, female, lesbians, they don't like women.
Wow.
Mothers, I should say. Mothers. It's like they're like hate their own mother, that they think every mother out there is a bad mom.
Mm-hmm.
Or they hate their dad and they think every dad out there is a bad dad. Mm-hmm. That's like stereotyping someone. That's like me having a high conflict marriage. Like it's like me saying all men are scumbags because I had one person that was horrible, right? That doesn't mean everyone is horrible. So that's how they stereotype people in the courtrooms. I kid you not. If you look at the reporter and the reporter says, I don't like you, I don't like her, that reporter most likely will not put sensitive topic that should be included in there. Pay attention to your transcripts. You will understand what I'm talking about. I've seen it with my own eyes. I witnessed it. I seriously witnessed it. Okay? See it with your own eyes. Very true. Yep. Christina said, very true. And that's what my son is doing now that the dad sent him away because he has special needs and he don't claim any child that belongs to him that have special needs. So that way he don't have to deal with them. Okay, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what you mean by that, Christina. I'm so sorry. It could be the antibiotics. I don't know. Could be the antibiotics I'm taking. I'm gonna blame it on the antibiotics.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Yeah, but Corey, honestly, dude, you got a good case.
Thank you.
If I was a civil attorney, I would grab it.
I just I want to. One of the things that is I want to show my son that his life matters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Life
gotten a
matters.
raw deal. He's gotten a raw deal lately. I mean, in the last several years, and not from me, but when you have someone that's supposed to be very close to you and that does this, that's a tough
Mm-hmm.
sell.
It is. But you know what? Be thankful that you have your son, and be
Oh, I
thankful
am.
that your son is not with this woman. And may God have mercy on her soul, because she's going to reap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, she's going to reap in a very painful way what
Mm-hmm.
she's done to this boy.
We go to
Yeah.
church every Sunday.
Hmm?
I put him in a private school that's a Christian school, and I mean it has overcome a lot of stuff. It really has.
Hmm.
And so the old adage, it's a family that prays together stays together. That's my thought.
Good. And that's
Mm-hmm.
true. The family that prays together stays together. Yeah,
Yes.
that's very true. I just wish all America hears that, because oftentimes I see families separated. They're not together. They're
Mm-hmm.
It's
gone.
tough.
They're gone.
It's
There is
tough.
no family anymore. I used to sit
It's
home with
tough.
my dad and my mom and my brother and sisters, and eat dinner together and eat breakfast together before school, and eat,
Hmm.
not lunch, but we were at school, but eat together and pray together, go to church together, take communion together. It was
Yes.
family life together, as togetherness. Like I don't think I ever left my mom and dad's home until they died. I was literally there every day after work,
Yep.
every single day. Like
Yep.
my dad would be like, he knew I was not going anywhere. So it's kind of, there isn't that family life. You know what? Now kids tell their parents, "Oh, I don't have time. I'm busy."
Mm-hmm.
And then when the parent dies, the mother dies, for example. Like my friend told me, she said she regrets not spending time with her mom and her dad because she was always busy.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes the system, what they do to our children, it kills the parents slowly. And
Mm-hmm.
that parent doesn't have a chance to see their child before they die. We have clients who have, we had clients who had cancer, and the doctor gave them a few, months to live. And the social workers would not even agree
Yep.
on a month with the mother.
I remember that.
Terrible.
That's horrible.
Yep. I remember that one.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's not right. It's not right what they do. That mother, you know, it's sad. It's very, very sad. And that's what they do. So, Corey, again, be thankful, man. I am so
Mm-hmm.
happy for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
mostly happy for your son that
Yeah.
he's safe. And I hope to God, Corey, that he will get over this. I pray to God that he gets over this, because that's not something you get over easy.
No, it's gonna be a while,
It's
and
going to be a while.
I've resolved that. It's one day at a time.
Exactly. One day at a time. And I'm not going to I'm not going to do anything with these pictures, but I will send them to the attorney though. So
Yeah,
I
let's
will
get on
send
that.
them.
Let's make that. This little kid needs to have some retribution for what his mom did to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And CPS, what CPS did not do is their job. They did not do their job.
Oh,
They did not do
I,
their job. Yeah.
that's what they're supposed to do, and and some of the judges didn't do their job either because they should have at least heard on a PFA.
Judges never do their job.
Very
They
correct.
never do their job. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They sit down and on their bench and eat bonbons. I think, honestly, or I don't know. They have a little toy there or something. I don't know what they're doing. To be honest with you, I mean,
A little toy.
they must be playing with something because definitely they're not
Oh
looking at.
man.
They're
God's
not
sake.
looking. I'm sorry. They're not looking at anything that is anything pertaining to the child safety. Absolutely nothing. All they do is go by what the social workers are pending. That's all they're doing. So whether they have a nail file they're playing with their nails, whether they're, I don't know, playing with a paperclip, I don't know what they're doing. But everything that is discussed regarding the child's pain and suffering, oh, well, I'm just going to go with the recommendation of the social worker. Wow. Okay. So anyone can just lose their child, just like that. Blink of an eye, lose your child. That's not right. And a mother doing that to their own child, not good. That's horrible. That's, to me, that's just, wow. The mother is the nurturer, the safe place, the safe place a child goes to. This is horrible.
I don't know who did it, but somebody allowed it. Let's just put it that way.
Somebody allowed it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there physically when it, but the way that my understanding is the custody order. So if something happens at my house, I'm held responsible whether I did it or not, and vice versa. So,
Corey, I hope his mother's gone far, far away and she will never come back again. Because I think he would have flashbacks.
oh, there's no doubt. And we probably will for quite a while.
Yeah.
He definitely got PTSD from that. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're working with right now to get
Does he cry in the middle of the night?
He has before. Now, what I do is no, when we're done here, I'll go in, shut everything down, give him a hug and kiss, say goodnight to him yet again and then I'll go to bed. So it's there's confirmation that I'm still there.
Oh, okay. Well, the show is over. Go to your son, give him that hug and kiss, and tell him good night, and give him a big hug.
I will do that, and I will. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow.
All right, God willing.
Yes.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you for coming.
Thank you much. Have a great evening, both of you.
You too.
Have a good one, Corey.
Okay, Darren. What's wrong?
That's just freaking terrible. It's just I cannot believe how flawed these CPS workers are and their systems and what they do, how they do everything. I mean, you go from one extreme to another. This poor kid's. You see how bad those pictures are. That poor kid was tortured, for God's sake.
I wanted to vomit on several of these pictures. The knee picture and the heel picture. I wanted to vomit. That baby was in
the Christmas ball.
Pain.
Yeah,
and that's why he's like holding the father's. One picture Corey sent me is like holding on to the father like your life. Mm-hmm. You know, a child holds on to the father or the mother when the other parent is abusing them. A child would never hold on to the abuser, ever hold on to the abuser.
Right. They'll give them that superficial hug.
Never, never.
Whatever, right?
Yeah, never. Would never, ever. The child will cry out to leave the abuser while the system puts them there. Mm-hmm. And that's the God honest truth. So either way, they're traumatizing the children and traumatizing family and separating family. And that's all they're good for. That's all they're good for. And I know talking about it is not enough, but again, I'm praying to God that all of America listens, all of America understands. Just because it didn't happen to you, it doesn't mean it's never going to happen to you. Believe me. Because CPS went from, I don't know, $500,000 a year company entity to $1 trillion a year entity. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a second. Just think about it. It went to $1 trillion a year entity. It went from $1 million a year to $1 trillion. I mean, like 500,000 or 600,000. Somebody told me years ago, and then now, I mean, then it went to $1 million a year. Then it went to $1 trillion. That's a huge jump. because they're stealing children left and right. They're destroying families left and right. So just think about that. I would like the people who are not dealing with CPS hear this.
Child a minute is what they take.
Child a minute, probably less than a minute. I
Yep.
give it a child a second.
Mhm.
Okay. So again, please share and inform people and bring awareness, because we need that. So everybody can all together, they need to say enough is enough. Because 100 people saying enough is not going to be enough. 200 people is not enough. 500 people is not enough. Not even 100,000 people is enough. We need more than that to say enough is enough. Okay? Darren, you want to say anything before we end?
Nope. I think that's a perfect ending, Miss G. We need more than that.
Yeah, we do. Ouch. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. And Darren, thank you so much. Have a good night, you guys. See you tomorrow.